I was so dumb, but I hopped on a plane, almost drove right back to the 541. Shitty U-turn on the freeway, you turn me from a fiend to a way to you fun. I can wait in the sun for a little, but it's been real gray, and tonight it's a nice C1. I can wait in the cold for a while if the reasons are plenty. Right
as an academic presidential scholar, I would just say that the boys are back. The boys
King,
are back in town.
King, why don't you plug your NPR show that you have on Tuesday nights while you're at it? That'll work. Yeah.
Find me on Blue Sky on Grading Trump Tweets, Sunday nights at midnight.
Nutty asking what the occasion is.
It's just that we mean business.
Yeah, we have to have an occasion for looking great.
Braga hasn't worked since the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
he was jet setting and hopping globe to globe, or not globe, continent to continent. He went to the inauguration on Monday, and now he's here. And just like Prezi T is back, the boys are back.
Wait, I was gonna do a hand signal, but there's been some weird hand signals going around since January 6th, and so I'm gonna steer clear. But yeah, I've been trotting. I've been globe trotting, and haven't worked since last year until this week, and it's been pretty good.
How upset were you that your president moved the inauguration to the Capital One Center?
Yeah, I mean,
I saw you still had good seats.
Yeah.
Great seats.
You're right in between Brett Bielema, PJ Flack, and JD Van. It was great.
It's like you pay money and you have expectations when you pay that money, and so you don't like to see people just change that all willy nilly. But yeah, it ended up being okay. I was with my.
You're gonna say something.
I was with my
very
people.
different.
What do you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were saying you're gonna pay that money, so you're not gonna have to see like minorities or.
Why would I say that, Ski? Why would I say that?
Why would he pay that?
You were just you claim that you were in España for 2 weeks, but I mean, are we for sure know that you weren't in Germany somewhere
I have many,
for those 2 weeks?
I have many close friends who are of color, Ski. So I don't know what you're talking about. Some of our best voters are people of color, Ski. So I don't get the gag, Ski. I don't get what you're trying to do here. Yeah. Nutty saying this is my Rick Steves cosplay.
I look like Matt Walsh, so I lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Booble says I have a color. I have a color
woman?
TV. Yeah. I have a color TV, Ski. So there's a lot of colors in my community.
All the colors.
Oh,
black.
Yeah.
White.
Yeah.
Not really brown. Nope. No rainbow colors.
Yeah.
No rainbow colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Okay. Shall we actually start the podcast?
If you want.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. I'm Alex. He's King. He's Ski. You could tweet at us pictures. Our handles are on the picture of the podcast. If you'd like to tweet it at us, if you want to. Ski and I are on Blue Sky. We do the podcast live.
Plebs.
Yeah, plebs. We do the podcast live every Thursday. Now that I'm back, so if you want to watch those live, it will be on twitch.tv/abrog87. Can you tell I haven't done this in a while? Holy shit! Join our Discord. Sports Brewery and Discord. That's where we get our list ideas, our movie ideas. It's a good time. Y'all post way too much in there. It is really hard to keep up with. But if you like that sort of thing, definitely get in there.
Speaking of lists.
Speaking of the movie, we do have a movie podcast, which
being censored.
Which we appreciate you guys sticking with us. While I was gone, we did release one of those every Sunday. And so our movie this week is Ski's movie, and it's Almost Heroes. It is on Prime. Almost Heroes. Chris,
I was just trying to make America great again. Back in the times when America was great.
When Chris
Just paying
Farley
homage
and
to it.
Chris Farley and Matthew Perry were, the epitome of comedy in our world.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the movie. So watch it and listen to us talk about it on Sunday. What would you like to say, Kay?
As I was so rudely interrupted by the leftist to my left on the screen.
The leftist to my
Speaking of lists, if you see a brown person, put them on the list.
Have you heard of this?
ICE is coming.
Have you seen that?
I'm Matt Walsh.
I am Matt Walsh.
Row the boat.
I'm Matt Walsh.
Row the boat. Row the boat.
Go row that.
I was almost the coach of Oregon. Remember that? Woo!
What a time. What a time.
What a time to be alive, folks. Let's see. Where should we start? So I
have a question for you though, Braga.
Yeah, I could talk about Spain. You got any questions about Spain?
I have a question for you about that.
Sure.
Have you found it weird not eating dinner at like 10 o'clock anymore?
Bro, my sleep schedule was like irreversibly changed. Like I wake up, I go to bed so early and wake up so early now, like it's messed up. But in Spain, like, you're right, Ski. They don't like there was so we stayed in Barcelona, Tarragona, Valencia, and Alicante. In Tarragona, there was like the restaurant we went to for dinner both nights we were there didn't open until 8 p.m. Like, you could not like get a table until after 8 p.m. And that's crazy. Like, I don't hate it. Like, I'm normally like a night owl anyways, but that's crazy, right? Is it not? I don't know.
It's the Spaniards, man. Did you eat a lot of tapas?
Nope, I ate none of it. Oddly enough, like kept meaning to, but ended up just like all the places we went to are just sort of along the coast, and so there's just like amazing seafood and dinner, like pretty much every time. I'll say I was talking about this earlier, like
nothing but caviar for this man.
No chicken or cows in my.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm on that pescatarian diet now.
Yeah.
I'm a pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
I'll say like when I was like around 30, I got married and went on a honeymoon in Italy. And I had a lot of shitty meals on that trip to Italy. And I think the difference is that I'm like 12, 13 years older now, and I know what places not to go to. Because like when I went to Spain, I knew don't go to places with pictures of the food, because they're going to be touristy and the food's going to be half-assed. And so like knowing how to pick a restaurant and what not to pick like made a huge difference, man. Like I didn't have a fucking bad meal the entire time. It was wild. Other than last day of the trip in a train station, we went to a Tim Hortons, and that was terrible.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love their coffee.
Soon enough, they'll be the 51st state. So we'll get used to Timmy Hortons here soon.
Canadians' finest. Yep. It was bad. It was real bad. And probably didn't help that I had just had a whole bunch of really good food before that. But yeah. You want to know something crazy? Like and I don't know if this was like because I was a traveler, like because they knew we were tourists, but like the pours over there are so healthy. Like every alcoholic drink you buy, they are giving you a lot of it. Like wine is like half the glass full. Get a What?
I live in the Willamette Valley. By pours, I thought you meant homeless people.
I thought POTUS as well. I 100% did as well. It's like, man, they got healthy homeless. Hey, good for them.
Yeah, they take care of their homeless people. Yeah, like free health care. They got.
How
I think he's gotten so native he just doesn't know the easiest words now in English again.
I forgot, guys. I've been out of the country too long. I forgot the vernacular, guys. That's on me.
It's Matt Walsh that kills me.
Yeah. Row the boat. Row the boat. Row the boat of healthcare for the poor. Yeah. Jesus Christ, King.
It's an opulent man.
Jesus Christ.
I thought the same thing when you first said it as well, man. So not just King.
I was like, the poor. That's kind of a funny.
You know, you know how I can tell I haven't talked to you guys in a few weeks is because of that. Like that's a you guys thing.
That's great.
That's a podcast thing. Holy shit. Yeah. Anyway, you get lots of alcohol when you buy alcohol there.
What are your thoughts on the whites?
It's the gist of my presentation.
On the exciting whites.
Yeah, exciting whites.
A lot more whites than you'd think in Spain. Yeah, I felt right at home with my people. My people. Jesus. All right.
Well, I think the Spaniards are kind of see themselves as like the white people of brown people. You get what I'm saying there?
The white people of brown people.
I think they turn their nose up at especially. I think they really shit on Mexicans, especially the Spaniards.
Like I said, I was feeling right at home, guys.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. God.
Was your Spanish good enough?
I hate this.
Espanol.
I hate this.
I'm Matt Walsh.
Yes, my Spanish sufficed. I know just enough to sort of get by.
How do you say sufficed in Spanish?
Oh, that's a great question.
Sufficiente.
Suffice. Yeah.
What about in Castilian?
Suffice.
All right, you passed.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I know. Booble with a kill Whitey in the chat. Kill Whitey!
Not me.
Speaking of Farley, yeah. Oh, God. All right, any other questions about Spain? No?
Did you have sex with a woman in Spain?
No, I did not. I was like sharing.
No?
I was sharing a hotel with my dad and stepmom. So
did you flirt with a woman in Spain? Or a guy? But I'm Matt Walsh, so it's got to be a woman. What is a woman, by the way?
We all are. Remember? Yeah, we all are legally women now. Didn't you get the memo? Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
The boys are back.
The boys are back. That's what we meant. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else for Spain?
Was it awesome?
Yes.
Every day was it just awesome?
Every single day was great. All the places we stayed at were along the coast, and so lots of really nice beaches. It just beautiful, man. It really is beautiful. And I still haven't explored most of Spain. I didn't go to Madrid or anything. It's oh, by the way, I did try to check out sports while I was there. I made a point. Every city we were in has several soccer teams. And so I tried to find any fucking home game while I was in that city.
Go to a soccer game.
Nothing.
A football game.
There was nothing. The entire time I was there. From city to city, no games. No home games, I should say.
You didn't find a single pitch where people were playing football on?
Nope. Well, I mean... Well, no, that's not true, because there are... So in Valencia, there's this... It's essentially where a river would normally be through the city, right through the middle. But instead of water, you go down, and it's like this. It's like a park essentially. It's like a huge central park type thing, and on that are just lower level soccer fields that are dedicated to lower level teams. I don't even know what fucking whatever. But there was also a baseball field. There was a rugby field.
They ain't playing no fucking baseball. I know that.
I literally saw them playing baseball and softball.
They ain't playing no baseball. Name one Spanish baseball player.
Did you Did you post a picture of them playing baseball?
I sure did.
In the Discord?
There's a picture in the
Yeah.
Discord of people playing baseball. Sorry, Ski.
Oh,
That sounds like a lie.
baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball.
That sounds like a lie.
Hard balls were being
Wait,
thrown.
so the soccer fields were in like a dried out riverbed? Is that what you're saying?
No, no. I'm saying like where a river would normally be in a city. Instead, what they have is like you go downstairs and it's like there's like a running trail all along it. It's just like this really cool like park thing that's just like really long instead of big, if that makes sense. And like along the way is just a bunch of soccer fields and shit.
Well, it sounds like a smart city that knows how to capture its water instead of letting it go into the ocean like a bunch of suckers.
And that's a very volatile statement you're making, Ski.
They just got to turn the faucets on. That's all I'm saying.
All my water leads to the Gulf of America. So I don't know what you're talking about, Ski.
I agree with that executive order. I'm Matt Walsh. What is a woman?
You guys are chunking a little bit on my end.
Yeah, you guys are chunking on my end too. So I'm gonna turn off all of my things and see if that helps. Wow, that's interesting. It won't let me turn off my Xbox. That's fine.
Hey, PJ, how was winning the Duke's Mayo Bowl while you were in Spain? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah. There's nothing I enjoy more, as you both know, than mayonnaise, and it's a good warm mayonnaise bath. Really, there's nothing better at the end of a week than a nice dip in some mayo. You know, cucumbers aren't the only thing getting dipped. You know what I mean? Chips aren't the only thing getting dipped. This guy. Ooh, baby.
Damn.
Ooh, baby.
Hell yeah.
Nutteen asked best food I had. I had a meal that was octopus and mashed parsnips. Doesn't sound very good.
Hell's a parsnip, man.
It was really good. It was really, really good.
What is a parsnip?
It's like a fancy carrot.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It
was really good. Booble asked what the weather was like. It's winter over there as well because we're in the same whatever near the equator. And
hemisphere?
Yeah. No, is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Longitudinal.
Hey, we are not strong on science over here. I mean, let's be real. That's not the good book doesn't talk about science needing to be known. So
I do my own research.
Give us a break. Exactly. Give us a break on the science stuff.
Yeah. So it was still like nicer than here. It was like 55, 60 every day. I got back here. Actually, so I flew back to San Francisco before coming back home. San Francisco was like 32 degrees when I got there. It was a bummer. I like being home, but it was a bummer coming back to Oregon from Spain. I'll just say that. So, yeah. That was it. I recommend it. If you ever have anybody go like, hey, Spain, yay or nay, say yay. Do it.
Did you see any boobs since you were on the coast? Did you go to a beach and see some boobs?
I mean, these are the real questions we need answered.
I saw no boobs. Yeah. I know.
What do you even do over there? Jesus.
Yeah, like I said, man, I went on a vacation with my dad and stepmom, so there were no.
You're supposed to have like the worst sex in front of them. Like that's the point.
In front of them?
Not in front of them, but like in the other room where it was like, oh,
bro, I don't know what kind of vacations you go on, but that's not my jam.
You're in another country. Come on, go to a hostel.
I know. I thought about that actually. I thought about just getting my own Airbnbs while they were there. Like if the sleeping accommodations for myself weren't great in one of the places, and just like being like, fuck it, drop $80 on an Airbnb for myself. I thought about that, but it would have ended up being too much work. So let's just fuck it.
Were the people good looking over there?
Some. Yeah. I think, I don't know, man. I think for the most part, not really. Like, Yeah. I think.
Well, he's on the coast. It's nothing but. I mean, we watched Goonies not long ago. We know what coasty people are supposed to look like. I think that's where he was at. He was in the Goondocks. He was staying in the Goondocks over there.
Yes, the
Spanish
Goondocks. The Goondocks, exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I think if I were to go to like a better city than the ones I went to, I think there'd probably be more attractive people. Like Barcelona. Barcelona, there was some, but like,
I figured there'd just be a ton of like drunk British women there, fleeing the cold of the UK to Spain.
There were plenty of British people. Not one of them was attractive in any way. Not fucking one. Imagine in your mind a British person. That was every single one of them. And mate. That's every single British person. On the flight, so we flew on British Airways, and one of the meals was an English breakfast, like a full English breakfast. Yeah.
Gross.
Do you know what that is? It included a fucking like warm cherry tomato, so that'll tell you everything you need to know.
What a
room temperature country. Mushrooms and blood
beans,
sausage
and beans.
The blood.
Yeah. Room temperature beans and tomatoes. Yeah, that was my meal. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so again, Spain, thumbs up. Go to it if you have the opportunity. It's worth it. And so they're going to end up living there, which is like one of the reasons we went over there is because they're going to live there and they wanted to scout it out, and they just asked if I wanted to go with them, and I said yes. So I'm going to get to go back more, which is cool. Looking forward to looking forward to that. So my plans moving forward would be to like fly there, visit them for like a night or two, and then go to the rest of Spain by myself, or with somebody else, like whatever. So looking forward to that for sure.
What is their currency? Are they peso, lira, or are they euros?
Euros. Yeah.
They're still euro.
Yeah. There was a you ever been to Vegas and they have those guys with like the flyers for prostitutes? They like slap them together on their hands or whatever. So in Barcelona, there was like just touristy crap that you can buy, and they would go €1, €1, €1, €1, €1, €1, €1, €1, €1. Literally would not shut the fuck up and just say €1 over and over again. It totally reminded me of prostitutes in Vegas. So you can buy a bunch of cheap shit for €1. Yeah. And by the way, the dollar not doing too great right now. Just saying. Just saying.
What are you talking about? The dollar has never been stronger, my friend. I don't know what news you're listening to. Yeah. Dollar's never been stronger.
The conversion rate not so good right now. I'm just putting that out there.
That's a liberal cesspool of a country.
Yeah, seriously.
They don't know what
you're watching too much CNN and MSNBC. You liberal.
Yep.
I was there. I experienced it. No, you didn't.
If there's one thing I know about,
it's a psyop.
There's one thing I know about Spain. It's that it's super liberal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's enough. That's enough Spain talk. Unless you have more questions about it.
Did you see Pau Gasol?
I didn't.
He saw Mark, but not Pau.
Yeah. I saw the one that mattered, the one that had the real career, Mark Gasol. Not this pansy Pau Gasol who was riding Kobe's coattails, and now he's riding Sabrina's coattails. Jesus, man, like, shut up with Pau Gasol already.
Yeah, shameful. Yeah. Shameful.
Yeah. Okay, so sports. So since we've last been here, since we've been gone. That's a good reference.
I can't breathe. I can breathe for the first time.
I can't breathe for the first time. Oh yeah. That's all I know.
Is that the lyric? I can breathe for the first time.
Turns into mumble. SMU, all I want.
Did you say SMU? SMU lost in the first round.
Pony up.
Dilly is gone.
Oh no.
So, let's see. Talking points over the last couple weeks. Let's see. The teams that got the first round bye all sucked and all looked rusty and all lost. Ohio State is much better than they were in the beginning of the season. And that's it. Right? Ryan Day won a national championship.
Did you guys
Everyone was
watch?
counting them out.
Did you guys watch the game on Monday?
Unfortunately, yes.
I saw highlights. Like that's the best I could do.
Yeah. So that's a no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just wanted to see if you guys are interested. I watched just because it's a thing. I don't know. I watched.
Sure.
I mean, it was semi-exciting the first drive for Notre Dame, even though it took 12-minute drive that in 20 plays and scored. But then it was pretty bad till about 6
until
minutes.
The last
left.
there
was a half a breath of maybe, but nah.
Wait. Maybe. Wait.
It was a lot like the Rose Bowl in that way, wasn't it? Like Ohio State had this huge lead, and then the other the other team sort of scored a couple of touchdowns, and then they had an opportunity, and then Notre Dame Notre Dame doinked that field goal, and you're like, oh, the game is like truly over.
Notre Dame had a chance to cut it to one possession.
They did,
and they decided to kick a field goal that meant nothing.
Yes.
It meant nothing.
Yes.
That is when the game officially. What?
I mean, it was a long fourth down.
You still have to go for it.
It was a long couple yards.
And you do have Riley Leonard, so no, you still have to go for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I will say the thing about the playoff this year and the national title game is like, I think Marcus Freeman's a good coach. I'm not. That's not what I'm.
I think he's a fine coach. I think
he's a fine coach. But he's lost to Marshall. He's lost to Northern Illinois. He's there's things that are like real blemishes. But what we've seen in the playoff is if there's a path, you got the path, and he made the path to the title. Good for him on beating Georgia. Backup quarterback. Good. Beating Penn State's a good win. It's a good win. But beating Indiana at home is whatever. But the praise he was getting, where it's like, oh, why isn't he the Bears head coach now? It's like, it's a thing about this playoff that just is really grinding my gears. Is that just there's a path that some teams have? There's just a path that some of these teams have that Oregon didn't have, or no one in the upper bracket had. Like, if Oregon had beaten Ohio State, bang, they would have had to play Texas. Blah, 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 blah. And I think eventually we will figure that out. But Marcus Freeman and James Franklin. Is James Franklin now a big game coach? He's won 2 playoff games. I mean, you could take away one of James Franklin's playoff wins, and he still and he still has a million times more than Dan Lanning. You know what I mean? And one coach is in like year 10 at Penn State, and one is in year 3 ever as a head coach. Are those big wins? Like, going forward, if let's say Oregon next year,
it's a big win, but he's not a big game winning coach still with one.
Are you sure? I mean, he's won playoff games. Is that the metric? I feel like that's not the metric people are doing.
Not anymore.
No, it shouldn't be.
Especially not anymore. Like, moving forward, there are so many playoff games to be played that winning 1 or 2 or even 3 is like, no.
3 is
I think you could win. You could win 1 if you win 1, but if you're one of the bye teams. The first round of the playoff, it's almost not even a playoff yet until you get to the Final Four. If you win a game in the Final Four to make the champ, that is a big time game win right there.
Yeah,
like you said, winning a home because it's a home game too. winning a home game against Indiana, that's not a big time win in my eyes. Because a lot of those teams probably shouldn't even be in it. There's cases against those teams to not even be in the tournament.
I agree, because Indiana, SMU, Clemson, even. I know Clemson, Dabo's.
I mean, they're second.
Arizona,
Boise.
Arizona State, oddly enough, looked the best out of all of them. That's a crazy thing to me.
That's because Texas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just it's just a weird. I'm still for the playoff. Like, I'm not anti-playoff, and I really love the first 2 rounds. Aside from Oregon just getting fucking obliterated, but as I processed the whole thing, I was just kind of like, and I know they're gonna, not next year, but going forward, they'll fix the seeding and the auto buys, and they're going to add some teams. The whole thing will change again. But it was just like next year. I feel like, so as a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I watch the regular season differently than even a Cincinnati Bengals fan who's been to the playoffs a bunch with Burrow, got to the Super Bowl, but beating the Chiefs. I don't watch regular season games outside of like 2 or 3 with them. Ravens, 49ers, Bills. I don't watch them like I care. Like, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh my God, they better win.
They don't really matter.
Like, for example, I probably only watched a quarter of the divisional round game against the Texans. I really didn't watch it. I had ran an errand, took my kid dropped them off picked them up at Matthew Knight Arena, and it was a sellout game, so traffic was weirdly trafficy. Like, I was like, whatever. Are you going to start watching Oregon football games like that? Like, next year, if they go 10-2, they go to Penn State and they lose in the end of September, and they lose, let's just say to Iowa or Washington, an 8-win team. They're going to make the playoff. They're going to. If they're 10-2, they'll make the playoff, because teams that make the conference championship game are going to lose. And that'll, my thing is like, God, I don't need every game to be do or die, like when it was a 2-team or a 4-team. But I do feel like there's going to be something going forward when you're one of like about 15 schools in the country right now, where it's like, do I really need to be invested to watch them play Maryland? Or
I wasn't glued to multiple games this year. Like, I wasn't really glued to Purdue game. I mean, that Maryland game I was kind of in and out of also. I mean, that was the first year with it. You could tell that it's like,
same.
I mean, they're in, especially when they're playing Purdue. It's like, even if they lose, that's a terrible, terrible loss. But 90% of the time, they're still making the playoffs.
There were a couple of Duck games this year that instead of watching them live, I went to estate sales. Like, that's where I was at with those particular games. I was like,
your outfit's making sense now.
Row the boat. I row the boat to estate sales. And so, like, I can glean as much information as I need just by watching highlights or by watching it later. Like, what's really the point?
Would you have done that in a 4-team playoff? First year in the Big Ten, they're ranked 1 for half the year. They're whatever. Would you have done that if it was a 4-team playoff?
I was gonna say, like, what a year!
They lost the game.
Yeah, what a year for Oregon to be number 1 and go through the season undefeated. The first year they expand this damn thing, because if it's a 4-team playoff, they probably win the national championship this year. Like, the teams that would have been against them in that 4-team playoff, they probably would have won, and it probably would have been easy. And we're talking about a very different thing. And Dan Lanning is coaching in the NFL next year. But no
NFL team should hire Dan Lanning. He's not an NFL.
Not even close. Not even close. Like, but somebody probably will in the next couple of years. Just the way NFL teams
if he wins, I mean,
yeah.
You have to win. otherwise.
By the way, have you guys seen all the clips from? I think we talked about this when it was on, of Hard Knocks with the Giants GM and him talking about when they were letting Saquon Barkley go into free agency, when they were talking about who they were going to draft, and there were clips of them talking about how Saquon isn't a 2,000-yard running back and isn't worth the investment, and how the dude's teenage son was like, you should draft Jaden Daniels. He's the only superstar in the draft. And he's like, ha, 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 just sort of laughing at him. It's like hindsight on that Hard Knocks. I think it was like one episode, too. On that one episode of Hard Knocks made, I think it's Schoen is his name, right? Like the Giants GM just looked like the absolute biggest idiot ever. And I say that the same week that Trent Baalke got fired from the Jags, who is actually probably the worst GM ever. But yeah, just so embarrassing. Like I don't know how you come back from that with the world knowing that your teenage son is probably a better GM than you are.
I mean,
and that's why I don't think that version of Hard Knocks is going to last much longer.
Yeah.
Because it will be very boring. Because no one is going to want to say shit in that little variation of Hard Knocks they do. Yeah. Because the Giants guys looked so fucking stupid.
But they hired Brian Dable and gave Danny Dimes a huge contract. They weren't playing with a full deck to start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think people expected that from the Giants. If Andy Reid and the Chiefs did something like that, then that would be shocking. But again, it's the Giants.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So.
All right. So any things to talk about with the college football playoff or the championship game? Ohio State wins the national championship. Anything to say there? I mean, credit where it's due, I guess.
It's Ohio State was the best team.
Yeah, they sure were. Yep.
I will, like, Oregon beat them, and I'll stand by it. Oregon didn't play an A+ game or an A game to beat them. It was like two teams playing their somewhere in a B, maybe B+, but Oregon beat them by 1. Okay, and we know how it ended. They could have lost.
Yeah.
But Ohio State was the best team because, in all seriousness,
at the end of the season, Ohio State was by far the best team. Yeah.
But even the Michigan loss, I knew it, but I glossed over it because I wanted to be a fan.
Pithy.
Mm-hmm.
They lost because their kicker missed 2 easy field goals. Like, Michigan didn't do anything on offense except for their last touchdown, where it was like they're selling out, and Mullins ran whatever it was, like 35, 38 yards for a touchdown, and they win. Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Down, they were just the hard thing for me, just before we put a bow on the whole Oregon season, I guess, is I saw a tweet yesterday or the day before. It was like the last 6 national championship winners have had 10 to 16 draft picks, right? In that class. And last year, Oregon had its best. They had 8. 8. Okay, and the difference between 10 and 8, not much. But the difference is Oregon had Bo Nix in round 1, Troy Franklin or Jackson Powers Johnson in round 2, and then everyone else was round 4 to 6. And you look at Alabama 2021, 6 first-round picks. Georgia 2022, there's like 7 guys drafted in the top 40. Like, I don't think that trend will be absolute in the NIL as we get, keep going forward in this. But man, that's a daunting stat because Oregon's going to get so many more bites at the apple. They're not done. Like Softy, I'm sure you didn't see it because you were at the inauguration, Braga. But the other day, Softy put out a tweet saying, like, man, I really feel like last year was a lost opportunity for Washington that they may never get back. Oregon's not in that boat. Oregon recruits well enough that they're going to get bites at the apple. Like you look at preseason polls now, they're ranked anywhere from like 3 to mostly, and 6 is like the outlier of low. There's nothing below 6.
What would you rather have though? Would you rather have Michigan right now, where they win it last year and they're stacked, and then the next year,
yes,
I mean they're abysmal and
yes,
it doesn't look great on the
yes,
horizon for them too? Or would you rather
yes,
competitive every year? To have
I just want one.
Ring.
I just want one.
So you're fine with one and just
yes.
Well, no,
off into the
but I think Michigan is going to be fine going
They
forward.
will eventually, but yeah.
Like they brought in the number 1 quarterback.
Yes,
This year. And he's
Michigan
not
was
good this year.
Everybody knows Michigan was a quarterback away this year, like from being
true
really
freshman
good.
Quarterbacks aren't going to be good. But and again, this is internet brain. And I got it. I want to log on and like see hit a tweet or a thread or whatever the fuck it is from a college football, Stuart Mandel, Bruce Feldman, Dan Rubenstein, Josh Pay, J.D. Pickell, any of these guys. And I just don't want to see zero natties. It's just, it's stupid. It's dumb, but it drives me fucking insane. So I'm like, you're a Minnesota fan. You're a UCLA fan. You're a UCF fan. What gives you the fucking right to just be like, oh, no natty? You're a Washington fan. You claimed a split title 37 years ago or whatever the fuck it is. Shut the again, internet break, but it drives me insane that I can't read like a good faith like article, little video, whatever it is, and it's not just landing loser can't win the big game. He beat Ohio State, won the title. Boise State made the playoff. State won the Big Ten with 13-0. Doesn't matter now. It doesn't. We're in a different era, and we have been for a while. It's not new, but it's grating on me. I just want one. Give me one.
If you look at the standings at the end of the year, if this was 15 years ago, it's a national championship, right? Wait, there's no national title.
Yeah, there's no.
It's they in the end, if you look at the rankings and the standings, they had the best season as a whole. They didn't win the championship, but as a whole, they had the best season. They had one loss to Ohio State. So
Ohio State's 2 losses would have kept them out. No matter how good they were at the end of the season, they would not have been included. And that's the key, is because Ohio State clearly the best team at the end of the season, but they wouldn't have had a chance. Which a lot of people would say is a good thing that they did have a chance because they are the best team right now. Like we said, Oregon would have won the national championship if this was like a 4-team playoff, or just top
playoff.
2 team even. Yeah.
It sucks that Oregon has played like. Well, let's just take it back to the old Pac-12. You got Washington fans and USC fans always on the neck of Oregon.
Yeah.
If Oregon in 2010, 2014, this year, there are iterations of Ducks. Like, if they were in 1996, they just claim the title. They just claim it. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, okay, split title. I don't care. I don't read the USA Today or the AP. Like, I don't know the difference. Like, okay, yeah, sure. But they've been good in an era where you actually have to win the whole thing, and it just sucks. It sucks. I know. I sound like a bitch. It sucks.
But the 12-team playoff, it gets the best team. So 1 year into it, as you said, a team that would not have made a Final Four playoff won it. That's what the 12-team playoff does. Is that a great team could stumble twice now and win it all because they're the better team. Yep. It couldn't before, and that's why. I mean, TCU was in a fucking national championship. I mean, come on. That should not happen. That's what the 12-team playoff. I mean, I guess they could have with 12 teams, but that wouldn't really be happening going forward. So I think it is a good thing, but it's a painful thing this year as a Duck fan. But it is the correct path going forward.
It did what it was supposed to do.
I agree. It just sucks. It just
It does suck.
Like,
yes,
it's just going 13-0 and winning the Big Ten title. Like we said it, the night they lost to Ohio State. And you said it, and we were not disagreeing with you, Ski, but we were just saying you can't turn that light off. You can't. The switch is hard to flick. But Penn State was the big winner in Indianapolis State.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if Oregon gets to host SMU, in
the worst thing, because as you said, if this was 10 years ago when it was only 2 teams that made the championship, or the iteration when there was a 4-team playoff, it seems like the Ducks are just a couple years behind everything, because we know not next year, but probably the year after that, they're going to change the rules of the 12-team playoff, and they're going to reseed it. And the number 1 overall team is not going to get fucking hamstrung playing the second best team in the country in their first game. And it's just going to be one of those things as Duck fans, like, why the fuck are we a year or 2 behind everything right now?
Always.
That's what it feels like. We're 2 years behind the NCAA fucking us is all it is.
It's so hard. Because, and I know, and I've been online and I've seen people be like, oh, losers lament, cry, Ducks, cry. And it was like, no, it wasn't just Duck fans. It was a national fans, like national broadcasters.
It should have been reseeded.
The day the bracket came out, Joel Klatt, amongst others, like, congratulations, Oregon, you got screwed. Yeah. Like, and then it was when they beat Tennessee, when Ohio State beat Tennessee, the chorus of the winner of this game is probably winning the national championship. Yep. And even during the national championship game, there were college football scribes being like, that was probably the national championship game. People got mad because they're like, oh, Ohio State was up 34-0. They were. They kicked the shit out of Oregon. But you want to know what? Oregon beat them earlier. Oregon beat blah, blah, blah. It was just, it sucks. It just fucking sucks.
It just sucks.
It just sucks.
Yep.
And hey, go Oregon basketball. Beat Minnesota. Yeah.
Hey, not too bad though. Row the boat. Not too bad.
Yeah. Take it easy on them Gophs.
Yeah, come on, man. My Gophs. All right, so
whilst we are still talking college football,
yes,
picks, final
lines.
tally here.
I was just gonna ask you about that.
But before you get to yours, WCP dropped his the bowl pick.
The bowl pick'em.
And from here on out, in the rest of the pod, I want to be addressed, because champion would be a little pretentious. I want to be addressed as champ, because not only did I win, I Ohio Stated the field, man.
Sure.
That shit wasn't close.
So
I'm champ for the rest of the pod.
So what do I get to be called for winning the TSB Fantasy Football League? What do I get to be called for that?
Yeah, I know you missed the boat.
Oh, okay.
You had your chance.
Sorry, man.
I was busy. I rowed it ashore. I rowed my boat ashore. Yeah. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, man.
All right. Okay. So lines.
It's lines. So
lines with the lines.
So
lines.
Braga, I'm not sure if you are aware. You were out of the country. Yeah. I don't know if you were hanging out with the poors in a dead zone over there in España. The poors.
There were no. Let me respond to that. Zero sports of any kind in Spain. Big soccer country, I'm told. Not on TV. There was no sports of any kind. I had to I could pull stuff up on my phone, but when it was happening was the middle of the night, so it was I had nothing in terms of being able to watch sports. Couldn't do it.
Well, since we had picks all the way up before the championship game,
yep.
I sent a text to King. I don't know how you didn't get it. I don't know what's going on in Spain's cellular network. But
did you ask me for picks?
Yep, he picked Ohio State, and I just assumed you wanted Notre Dame.
What?
So now that game was worth 5 points, by the way. So
it's the red hair. It's the red hair.
Yeah. So here's
collusion.
I mean, we know you go to Catholic church every week, so I just assume you're following the Irish. So yeah, team wins by 1 point. Boom. Champ wins.
Champion
11 to 110
times 2. Champion. Like Joe Carter and Drake, I just went back to back. Woo! Oh my God, it feels so good.
Yeah, weird.
I just want to thank everyone that doubted me along the way. It's been a tough journey. It was rough. I had Iowa going to the college football playoff. It didn't happen. But you want to know what? I stayed the course. Yeah. I stayed the course. I had a belief in Jesus and the man above, and the core of me said, just keep looking forward and you'll find the light. And you want to know what I did? I found the light to another championship. That's 2 in less than a week. That's 2. Thank you, Jim.
It is. I do find it odd that I was texting with people the whole time. The whole time I was over there, and yet somehow Ski's text is the only one that didn't go through. Interesting.
I suggest maybe talking to your cellular provider. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, Verizon. Maybe Verizon. Famously, no coverage. Verizon. Yeah, totally.
I mean, maybe if you were behind Elon and his Starlink, you would have had plenty of service in Spain, and you could have got your pick in. You know.
I feel like Elon would fit in really well in like the government of Spain. You know, like I feel like that's a good match. From the chat, Nutian says. So by the way, these are all in bold. Nutian says recount. Booble says stop the steal. And then Nutian says the game happened on Inauguration Day too. and then Booble says King called himself Drake. Yikes.
I just said I went back to back. That's a fact. Listen to the song. Joe Carter, Drake, back to back. Patrick Mahomes, back to back. Is that better? I couldn't name another black guy because I'm Matt Walsh.
The pipe is great, by the way. After an entire season of dominating Lions. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. You know, sometimes
the worst candidate, the worst of all time.
Of all time.
Landslide. Man, feels good.
I bet.
So much winning. Too much winning. Whew.
Well, I'm gonna take my loss in stride. I'm gonna take it in class.
I'm gonna storm Yahoo Sports.
Yeah.
Stay strong.
Like Kamala, you will see me at the inauguration, and I'll be on SNL this weekend to talk to myself into it.
Actually, here's a question about, like, a serious question about the inauguration. We all know what the standard is. You know, you lose or you win, you stand there. You go to the inauguration, see the peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I do have a question on why any of them was Bush, Obama. Like, why would you go this year? Only because in 2020, Trump was like, sorry, losers, rigged. I'm not going. Rigged. I'm getting on this helicopter. Yeah. See you later. Losers. They just left.
No, it's
left.
It's you don't sink. What's King? You don't sink to their level.
What's decorum? Yeah. But what really? Decorum? Are we still doing decorum?
I hear you. I hear you.
We got all those W memes out of it, so I guess it was worth it.
That's true. I was literally thinking that the first when you first brought it up, I was like, W high as balls, like just looking off randomly at random people laughing is beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think W is having a little like redemption coming on now here. I think people forgot.
As soon as he left office, he started painting and like painting pictures of himself in the shower and like his dog and like I'm pretty sure that dude is like on edibles all day long. Like all day long.
Just think of how awesome. Just think if he never got into politics and he just kept owning the Rangers, how awesome he would be as an owner.
He'd be dead.
Wacky guy. He'd just be a wacky guy.
He'd be the best.
Yeah.
No,
he'd be so funny.
No, he'd be dead because in case you forgot, that dude was a like humongous cokehead and used to get DUIs all the time.
Nothing's killing W, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You think a little blow is going to take down W?
Jet fuel can't melt W. Yep.
The fucking weapons of mass destruction can't take down W. So a little blow ain't going to stop them.
Yeah. Clearly.
When all the W memes were going on, I fell down a little rabbit hole. I know no one gives a shit about this, but hey, I got the mic on, so you listen to me. I'm Matt Walsh. I was looking at presidential approval ratings when they left, and it was like
W's was 20%.
It was like 23%. Like everyone hated Trump, and he was at like 40. Everyone hated Biden. He was at I think 37, and W. Bush was at like 22 or something. Yeah. And the toxic rhetoric around Obama was toxic, and he was at like 60.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
What the heck? Like, how did he even get to 60? Because the internet wasn't what it is now when he left, but the internet was still a thing. The internet's way poisonous now, which makes Bush's even more sad. So it was just like, how do you hate this guy unless you watch like MSNBC?
Yes, those were like they were polling
Keith
people.
Olbermann show, and Rachel Maddow show.
You're watching C-SPAN is what you're watching back then. Just check out.
Crazy.
They were literally polling people in the streets for those percentages, and everybody fucking hated him. WCP in the chat. I missed the time when W was the dumbest POTUS we've ever had. Yeah, right. Like we used to give him so much shit, and like looking back at him now, it's like, man, give me Patriot Act president again. You know, give me taking away give me taking away our civil liberties and like you know, like
you want to know why you hate the airport now? It's because of Bush.
Yes. Yeah, give me that. I'll take that. I don't mind taking my laptop out of my backpack. You know, like I don't know. It's better.
The difference is that Bush didn't care enough really to do anything really, really bad.
Yeah.
He did. He did not want to be a president.
Do you guys think Biden's approval or his just his ethos around him is going to get worse as we age?
Well, I hate to say it, but I think he's probably going to die here very soon. So I think we're not going to have that time of where we would forget about him enough and kind of remember him a little more fondly. So yes, I don't think
it'll happen. It'll happen. I think he's going to end up like Reagan in that way. Cuz Reagan, you know, Reagan was like pretty popular when he was president. And then time went on, he died. You found out his wife was the throat goat. But also like you look back on
Reaganomics was a scam.
You look back on him now and you're like, Reaganomics was a scam, like Iran Contra, like that dude was one of the worst presidents we've ever had.
The worst presidents in the last 100 years.
Yes. But like people loved him when he was president. Like that's my point.
No internet.
No internet.
The internet, the internet would have killed Reagan too.
He would have never been president. He found out the first lady was the throat goat going into leading up to the election. No chance he's winning. No chance
in hell.
I mean, I think he'd be okay now. Like, I think he'd be okay.
Yeah, back then, at the time.
Back then,
for the times.
Yeah. Amazing. Like that's still one of the best stories in the last like 20 years is Nancy Reagan. Okay.
Did Nancy Reagan ever get it? Like, did she look like she could get it? Alarm alert! Woo, woo, woo. Toxic masculinity!
Yeah.
Woo, woo. Problematic subject. Young Hillary Clinton, she could get it. She could get it. Did young Nancy Reagan, was she ever get it?
She wasn't she like an actress or something coming up?
Yes.
I feel like she was a failed actress.
That's why she was a throat count.
Failed actress.
Failed actress.
That's why that's why old Ron married her, right? I mean, okay.
Oh, she's from that era. She's from that era. Yeah, I mean, they did the Watusi and that.
The jitterbug.
Boom, boom. Actually, I feel like with the cardigan.
Actually, you kind of fit in.
Love this visual gag on an audio medium. We're doing.
Perfect.
It's very good.
Yeah, I post these on YouTube. If you're listening and would like to see it, you can check it out on YouTube. All right, let's do our list and get out of here. How about that? Oh yeah, WCP also mentioning Reagan's tax cuts directly responsible for the deficit. He also introduced drugs into communities. He was kind of bad.
Was he also the Just Say No? Was that Nancy Reagan?
That was Nancy.
Just Say No.
Yeah, Nancy was Just Say No.
Introducing drugs, and then don't do drugs.
Introduce crack into communities, while his wife was saying that weed was going to kill everybody, and was a gateway drug. Yeah. Remember gateway drug?
And denying and demonizing AIDS. It's only a gay person thing. I'm Ronald Reagan.
Only gay people. Yep.
Only gay people.
Oh,
I know we're not old enough to remember that, but wow. What a weird... The 80s, man. The 80s, man. Weird time.
I could talk for like 45 minutes about Ronald Reagan being the worst president ever. Let's not.
Do you have a Ronald Reagan impression?
Yes.
Either of you? Because I don't.
That's it. That's the word. That's the in. That's the in for the Reagan impersonation is the word yes. Yes. Remember the SNL skit with like Phil Hartman when he did like because there was two versions of Reagan. There was like the super duper aggressive, angry Reagan, and then there was like the public persona actor Reagan. So he'd be like this when talking to the press and to people, and then he'd go like this when he's talking to his Joint Chiefs of Staff. And that was the skit with Phil Hartman. It's really funny. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's really good.
His wife killed him, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Phil Hartman?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Yes. She speaking of the Reagan deinstitutionalizing mental facilities, and his wife
you let all the crazies out.
His wife had a serious mental illness.
Was Phil Hartman in Spin City?
Phil Hartman's last news radio? News radio.
Yep. Okay, all right.
With the great Joe Rogan. Mm-hmm. Such a great guy, that Joe Rogan. Oh my
God, he was the male guy.
Yes.
Yeah. And Andy Dick.
Dave Foley, obviously the star.
Dave Foley. Yeah.
Andy Dick. That guy's a millionaire. The 90s.
Well, he's accrued over in the millions. I don't think.
I think you're probably right.
His celebrity net worth will say he has over $1 million. He does not have over $1 million. Yeah. All right, let's do our list. How about that?
The Andy Dick show was funny. Remember Anus and Andy? It's a funny little skit.
I quick thing, King. Are you worried about the Bills?
Who cares?
Which Bills? Executive order, all the bills.
There are no bills anymore. I sign all the bills myself.
I'm sure you would rather have seen the Ravens and not the Bills.
No. I wanted to see the Bills because Lamar and Derrick Henry are insane. Like that's just two things that the Chiefs can't stop on defense anything between the hashes. So the Ravens were a fucking nightmare. I think the Bills are a better overall team. I do. Yeah, but until it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid at home, I know they lost the one. They did lose against the Bengals, and then they've lost at home in the AFC Championship before. But I just have a hard time picking against them. So I think the Chiefs will win. I think the Bills are a better team, but I think whoever wins this game is going to win the Super Bowl, not in a blowout, but rather comfortably. It'll be one of those things like if in the fourth quarter,
if it's the Eagles, the Eagles are going to lose the Super Bowl. I think Washington's wacky and young enough that they could just dumb luck their way and possibly win it.
Boy, Adam Peters, by the way, like speaking of GMs, like Adam Peters going from the 49ers to Washington, like, and how quick he turned them around. Like, I knew losing him was going to be a big deal for San Francisco, but like, you don't know who Adam Peters is?
Me too. Oh, I know. I didn't hear you. I thought you said Adam West. I know who Adam Peters is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. How quick that happened is just fucking impressive. I guess it takes a quarter.
Who do you think? Who do you guys have going to the Super Bowl? Braga, Ski. Who do you got?
I got Chiefs commies.
Yeah, I got Chiefs and Eagles. Yeah. I can't see the Commanders actually getting there already.
No respect for the Bills.
Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is banged up and he's not very good in big games. So,
look, man, picking against the Chiefs, like, why would anybody pick against the Chiefs? Like,
that's the thing.
I'm with you.
You have to blind bet the Chiefs. I don't care. Even if you're a Bills fan, the smart money is betting the Chiefs again.
Like, prove to me, Kansas City, that you are going to lose one of these games, and then I'll bet against you. Until then, like, again, it's the opposite of Oregon, right? Like, Oregon, win a national championship, and then I'll bet on you winning a national championship.
And then pop off.
Yeah.
But they got a half a natty this year. Don't forget the Wolf Matrix.
Yeah, the Wolf Blitzer Matrix. Yep.
Yeah, the Wolf Blitzer Coley Matrix. We got it on Wikipedia. It says we got an unclaimed natty this year. Just saying.
Yep.
By the way, WCP, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. That's it. Good job.
There it is.
Mr. Gorbachev.
My Reagan sounds a lot like Mr. Burns, I think. It's pretty close.
Smithers.
Yeah.
Like I'm old, so I don't remember Reagan, but I do remember during the last year or two of the Reagan regime era, my parents did have a waterbed. That's all I remember from the Reagan era. I was like, wow, this thing's weird.
Yeah. Waterbeds were weird.
You're a little kid. You sit on a waterbed. You just sink right into it. What?
That trickle down economics worked wonders for the middle class. Right? Everyone gets a waterbed.
Yeah. I bet you those things were stupid expensive in like 1989.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Waterbeds and giant tube TVs with like huge backs that were like as big as a living room. Yeah.
Those things went into the Obama era though. The big backs on the TV.
Yeah.
Big back. That's a TikTok thing.
Okay.
That's
All right.
We could talk about TikTok too. Let's not though. Lists. Our list this week comes from AK-47 in the Discord. Sports Brewery in Discord. If you would like an invitation to it, ask us for one. If you're already on Discord, just find Sports Brewery and get in there. It's fun. It's where we get our list ideas, like what AK-47 gave us this week. It is a good one.
Where is that coward, by the way?
Coward!
I thought he was going to be in the chat tonight.
He literally asked us what time we were starting.
Yeah.
And I don't see him. I don't see
Weird.
any comments. I got nothing from AK-47.
Yeah. We came to the schoolyard at 2:00. Yeah. He's not here.
Yeah, the boys are back. Where's AK-47? That's what I want to know. Must be rowing his boat to a different podcast. Loser.
If it's brown, send him down. I'm Matt Walsh.
An impersonation is great when you
Again,
like tell,
visual gag.
when you tell people
Audio
who you
medium.
are every time. Yep. It's the worst impersonation ever. I'm Donald Trump.
I don't know what Matt Walsh sounds
My
like.
name is Donald Trump. Can't you tell by the way I'm talking?
Listen, I listen to Alex Jones, not Matt Walsh. Give me a break.
The
Come on.
Senator from Vermont. My name is Bernie Sanders.
Come on, man. I got a real problem with you, man.
That's good. I like that one. You should
Give
do
me
that.
a list.
I thought you were
Give me the
still a
list.
Savage Nation guy, King. I mean,
No, I think he's done. I think he retired.
is he done? Oh no.
Yeah.
Fucking Lid's got him, man. Shit.
He was old. He was old as hell, man.
San Francisco right-wing radio host. Just
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on San Francisco, man.
I like this. This needs to stay. This impersonation needs to stay. Like keep.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, man.
I would like for you to do the entire top 3 list in that voice, please and thank you. Let's see how long you can keep it up. Like Nancy Reagan, like that.
Bronco.
Like how long you can keep it up.
She turned the frogs on gay. man.
Our top 3
Come on,
list
man,
comes
get
from
to the list.
comes from AK47 in the Discord. It is top 3 Sports Center anchors. I like this list. It's actually a little difficult, I think. But top 3 Sports Center anchors. Who wants to start?
I'll start, man. You know how this has got to go. No DEI hires on the Sports Center anchor list of Bristol. Number 3, Kenny Mayne.
Kenny Mayne. You got to do sound effects? Hey, sound effects are back. Let's go. My number 3 is Linda Cohn.
She's got 6 toes. If you didn't know that, man, look it up, man.
6 toes?
I'm Alex Jones.
I'm
Alex Jones.
Does she really have 6 toes?
She's got 6 toes.
6
Look it up.
toes. That's why she was so good at hockey,
6
man.
toes.
That's why she's so good at hockey.
Yep. I'm out.
Great balance with that extra toe.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Really good on the ice. All right, what you guys, Gee?
My number 3, I was torn with King's Kenny Mayne. I went Charlie Steiner instead, the long lost Steiner brother.
Steiner with one of the best commercials, like those old Sports Center commercials ever.
I feel like he wasn't on there long.
Come and get your whooping, Steiner. Yeah. No, I don't think he was
there
either.
maybe a couple years. Yeah.
I think that's the case with a lot of them. I think they're like we envision them being on there longer than they actually were. But yeah.
I think Stu was the only one that was there forever, it feels like. Kenny Mayne, I don't think was on that long.
Kenny Mayne was on there. I broke kayfabe. Kenny Mayne was there. Oh, come on, man.
Who's that guy? Yeah, what happened?
20 years. 20 years, man.
20 years.
20 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're longer than the illegal war in Iraq, man. Joe Biden, messy exit. Afghanistan, man.
3s from the chat. Booble says Scott Van Pelt.
SCP.
WCP says Kenny Mayne. And Nuttian says Jay Harris, R.I.P. Even though
higher. Can't do it.
Even
Can't
though
do it. Like it. Nope.
even though he hasn't died, which Nuttian then points out.
His career's dead. Let me tell you.
Oh boy.
He allowed Kaepernick, brother. Come on, man.
Let's see. My number
3.
My number 2. What?
I think I go first, man. Come on.
You didn't give your number 3?
No,
Number 2.
I did.
What's your number 2?
My number 2, Dan Patrick, man.
Boing. Yeah, Dan Patrick. Yeah.
DP. Oh, DP. You got it. That's a layered joke, man. DP.
It's a layered joke. Uh-huh.
Layered joke, man. Come on, man. I'm Alex Jones.
Again, best part of any impersonation, saying the impersonation that you're doing. My number 2 is Scott Van Pelt. Scott Van Pelt, I have a hard time not putting him number 1 because, you know, he might be one of the best like hosts of any show ever. Like his solo SportsCenter that he just like does by himself after games, where they just throw him into live interviews with people. He goes from that to doing highlights, bringing in Stanford Steve like he did. Like his sport, like Bad Beats is one of the best segments in TV history. Like Scott Van Pelt is like a TV legend, let alone SportsCenter. So he's my number 2. Somehow I have somebody better than him, but I had a hard time not putting him number 1. He's great. He's just great at TV. I don't know.
I think you had the same problem. I just flipped it on you, Braga. My number 2, Stu Scott.
Disagree, man.
And why do you disagree? Why do you disagree?
Critical race hire. Critical race theory. DI. I'm out. I'm Alex Jones.
When was the last time you heard someone say CRT? Is it?
Every day, man. I walk down the streets of very conservative Austin, Texas every day, and all I hear is talk about CRT, man. I'm Alex Jones.
Jesus. 2's from the chat. WCP says Stuart Scott, R.I.P. Yes. Stuart Scott, great.
I'm not being trolled here. Why'd you bring me on and talk about a bunch of these people, man?
These people?
A bunch of black people. I'm Alex Jones.
Booble says Dan Patrick. And Nuttian says
I get behind that one.
Nuttian says John Anderson. John Anderson's great too. Like low key good.
I love that guy, man. The whitest guy I've ever seen in my life, man. I'm Alex Jones. John Anderson.
Didn't he host like that Wipeout show too? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I love Wipeout. Speaking of Wipeout, ICE coming for it, man. We're gonna wipe you out. I'm Alex Jones.
What's your number 1, Alex Jones?
My number 1. I told you I wasn't a big DEI hires or anyone black around, but I'm picking a true patriot, man. I'll pick a Sage Steele, man. I'm Alex Jones. You're a true patriot. Sage Steele.
Yeah, why are they trying to silence Sage Steele, man? Like,
right.
God.
What about Michelle Tafoya? I mean, come on.
You should see what they did, Michelle Tafoya. It's very bad, man. Very bad, man. I'm Alex Jones.
These networks, they're just afraid of strong, powerful women. You know, that's what it is. That's what it is.
They're afraid of the truth. That's what they're afraid of.
My number 1.
Hook. Sandy Hook, man. That was false flag, by the way. I'm Alex Jones.
Oh, I don't like that being in our algorithm.
What do you mean, man? What do you mean? Look at the tapes, man.
So, Ski, I think you thought I was going to go Stu Scott number 1. I actually am going Dan Patrick number 1. I have gotten more, and it might have to do with like his radio show too, because I've gotten more entertainment out of Dan Patrick than maybe anybody else. I listen to his radio show like every weekday. Really love it. Really loved him as the Whiff, as an SportsCenter guy. So DP number 1.
I'm a big fan of Paulie. I really like Paulie Fritzy. Oh, I love Fritzy. Oh, he's a good guy, man. I'm Alex Jones.
I figured you'd be like more of a Seton guy, but all right.
I don't like that Seton, man.
Yeah.
Liberal, man. Lives in Connecticut, man. I don't. Frogs, turn the Frogs game, man. I'm Alex Jones.
What's your 1, Ski?
Where before I do that, where were you guys on Rich Eisen? Did you guys like him as a SportsCenter guy?
Yes.
He's much better as a radio guy than I thought as a.
Yeah, I thought he was fine. I thought he was. I thought he was derivative of Dan Patrick.
They were
he's a Michigan man. I'm telling you, Michigan went red this year. I'm Alex Jones.
Michigan went red this year. That's good. Let's see. One's from the. Right. Yeah, what's your 1?
Cool.
I was gonna skip ahead because you just you're lollygagging.
Well, my number 1 is SVP because I think he has the best bits of I think it's just on his radio show when he has Tim Kirkchin on and he speaks Balmerese to him, and Kirkchin's fucking cackle laugh is one of the best bits of all SportsCenter people.
Yeah. He again, you mentioned the Kirkchin stuff, like the Bad Beats segment. Again, it's like one of the best segments in TV history. It's so good. Yeah, SVP's.
Hey man. Why glamorize in Baltimore? Oh, they're crime, man. Black on black crime. I'm Alex Jones.
One's from the chat. Booble says Stuart Scott. Nutty and does say Rich Eisen. So he's his number one. And then WCP says Dan Patrick. Late addition to the list, Duck Chef. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1 for him. It's Kenny Mayne, Neil Everett, and Stuart Scott. Yeah.
Neil Everett's a sneaky one. I thought he could easily be in top 3.
He's
so
great.
I would not upset about that.
I kind of don't like that he's an Oregon homer, if that makes sense. Like, I think that sort of like detracts from him for me. I don't know why.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
They're partying ready tonight, man. Come on, man. I'm Alex Jones.
Say that word again.
They're partying ready tonight, man. I'm Alex Jones.
Yeah. Let's see. Booble says honorable mention Michael Smith. WCP.
Who the hell is it?
I don't think I know who that is. Yeah.
Is that the guy who was on like Around the Horn a lot?
You just made that shit up, man. It's like an mRNA vaccine. Yeah, the emphasis bad, man. Who is that guy? It doesn't exist. I'm Alex Jones.
Yeah, WCP also said that you've turned into John Gruden. In this impersonation.
Come on, man. What is a John Gruden?
Spider Y banana.
Spider Y banana. Yeah.
I
haven't heard it. It's been
in my head.
such a long time since I've heard him talk. Like, I can't do it either. Yeah. Let's see. WCP honorable mention SVP Rich Eisen, Neil Everett. Booble says he was never an Everett guy. Nuttian's honorable mention Steve Levy. Yeah, that's a good one. Duck Chef honorable mention L Duncan.
Oh, come on now, man. That's a bad one, man.
Okay.
Alex Jones.
Okay.
Bad answer.
Boo. Yeah.
Levy's Lounge, though, man.
All right. Anything else from Alex Jones before we go?
They're putting fluoride in the water, man. Stirring the frogs gate.
Yeah.
RFK. I'm Alex Jones. You're on a button hook. Okay, I'm not going to make another Sandy Hook joke.
Yeah, no.
Two's too many.
Something about lizards, lizard brains, and all that good stuff. Hey, we're back. The boys are back, as we established. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, our movie on Sunday is Almost Heroes. So if you're into throwing away an hour and a half of your life, Almost Heroes is on Prime. So go ahead and watch that and then listen to us talk about it on Sunday. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. Join our Discord if you want to join the fun. Goodbye.
Speaking of Almost Heroes, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I'm Matt Walsh.